What's up, y'all? Early morning video on my bus. Matter of fact, let me adjust the lighting. Let's see. Yeah, I like that better. Uh, so, just to say this, I got to go out of town this weekend tonight. Actually, I'm gonna be in Austin, Texas, hanging out with friends and whatnot. So y'all ain't gonna get a video from me. Um, and I got to be at work all day because I got shit going on all day. So you might get a couple of uploads today to hold y'all over. That might be the trade-off. Um, but look, man, I seen a video. Well, I actually didn't look at the video, but matter of fact, it's still on my screen thing. Hold on, real quick. Yeah, it says why the DeMar DeRozan a perfect fit, and it's by a Tourist Fan Club. I hadn't watched the video. I'll probably watch it after I start uploading this and doing my route. But let me say this. I think he'll be a good fit. Perfect fit, I don't know. But I tend to look at things from multiple directions. The best case, the likely, and the worst case. So if Arturis is going to do what's called the best case, and I think most everybody else is giving you kind of somewhere in between, I'm going to give you the worst case, right? What if DeMar DeRozan is on this team and he's sucking? Not sucking because he's a bad player, but just because it's not working, the fit is not right, right? What's going to happen? Now, I've been on the record of saying this, that I truly believe DeRozan is going to be out of here within 2 years. 2 years. I think, because, okay, I've given you the ages. They're 20. I'm going to just go ahead and start calling Zoe 24, even though his birthday until next month. Zach is 26. Zoe is 24. Pat is 20. We kind of need like a 22-year-old somewhere in there, I feel like, or something. But DeRozan and Vooch are like 31. If DeRozan can't hoop, there's so many other teams with players out there that you could go acquire. Aaron Gordon, Cam Reddish, Kevin Huerter, and there's a couple others. Now, I listed these two teams in particular because, I think DeMar DeRozan would be excellent pickups for both teams, and it would actually propel those teams to be contenders. I think he would fit better with those teams. I also mentioned him because the way I look at it, let's just say that this starts off and DeRozan's just sucking. What's the possibility that, they don't want to pay Cam and stuff? And I'm not sure when Kevin Huerter was drafted, but let's just say, they want to get up off some of these guys, which has been reported anyway. And so you go trade DeRozan for, say, Cam Reddish and Kevin Huerter. Now you get two cheaper guys back who give you more floor spacing and defense from Cam's position, and Cam gets a new start, he gets the start, and voila, now you got yourselves a better squad overall, and you can go run. And Cam is closer to age with these guys too, so it's like right there, it works out perfectly. I think the same with Kevin Huerter. He's an exceptional three-point shooter, and that's always good. I feel like we need that more off the bench anyway. And so that's something you could look at. I was looking at possibilities of, a power forward that would help on this team on both offense and defense. And I was like, hey, we could take an Aaron Gordon. Yeah, sure, he just got the $23 million extension, but that's $5 million less than what you're paying DeRozan. And even though he isn't putting up, over 15 in like a couple years, he did so like earlier on in his career. But to me, he's still a guy that can go out there and get you like 13, 14 a game, get you like somewhere between 6 to 8 rebounds, and he's going to play good defense. And to me, that's kind of what you need there. By the way, if you were to trade DeRozan, you could slide Pat Will into the 3 slot, so it still works out. You know what I'm saying? You're just younger and more athletic, and you got defense all around, so it helps even more instead of having 3, maybe 2 liabilities. So now you got like maybe 2 or 1, depending on how well or how much Zach is going to commit to the defensive end. And so that's just some things I've been thinking about. What's the worst case scenario here with this team, or with everybody on the team in general? Injuries is obviously something of concern, because if you're running, you're getting up and down the court. You're putting a lot of wear and tear on your body, and so that's something to keep track of when we're watching this team, especially the older guys, and guys like Derozan, who's getting up there. But I mean, there's other teams out there that you could probably sit and say, okay, who can we make a trade for that would help this team? And just have to, I guess, pick your poison or pick what you like. But I think there's a lot more teams out there that would be okay with a DeRozan, especially teams like Atlanta, and probably Denver when they get Jamal Murray back. Because, let me talk more about that. Why would he work in Denver? Okay, I don't know who they have at starting 2 guard now, but they can't be better than DeRozan. If you're telling me you got a backcourt of Murray and DeRozan, that's one of the better backcourts in the West. Then you got the emergence of Michael Porter Jr., and you still got the Joker. Like, that starting 4 is formidable. You might say, well, that's not too much different than what we have in, here, but I would disagree. I digress. I think that's a whole lot different. I think Vooch is better than anybody on our team. I mean, not Vooch. I think Joker is better than anybody on our team. And I think Michael Porter Jr. is probably the second coming of Kevin Durant. And so I think his stat line was like 23 points a game when Jamal Murray went out, because he was able to get his touches, and he's highly fucking efficient. In fact, if there was some way we could get Michael Porter Jr., I would love him. The only problem I have is the nigga don't play defense. And I think that's where my grievance with a lot of players is. I want guys to play deep. You know what I'm saying? I was having a conversation about this the other day, because we were talking about, I guess, building a perfect squad. And I found a player in history I would want at every position except power forward. They have not made the power forward that I want yet. And I haven't seen the power forward that I want yet. The closest one is Giannis, but Giannis doesn't shoot enough threes and doesn't shoot them well enough to qualify. And when I mentioned it, everybody's like, that's a fantasy, that'll never happen. Maybe the closest thing you can get to is AD, but AD is still lacking in key places I want. But I know that's kind of off, but it's funny, interesting banter. But you know what? I'll do a video on that too. I might do that later today. That would be, I think I will do that. I think y'all deserve to hear part of that conversation, and maybe it might get y'all to thinking. But anywho, in the case that DeRozan doesn't work, I'm pretty sure they're going to try to trade him, and depending on the team and how he's playing, it's going to affect his trade value. So, to me, as long as he's putting up 17 a game, I think his trade value will be more or less the same. If he's like 15 points a game, he becomes much harder to trade without some kind of incentive. You might have to throw in a Kobe White. You might have to throw in a first or a couple seconds. And that's worst case scenario. You don't want that to happen. But as long as he's playing like decently well as far as stat line is concerned, you can sit there and say, look, he's still DeRozan. He just doesn't fit our team. Who do you got? And quite frankly, that might be your best option to fill out the roster, to get the power forward that you want, because hell, he might even go to Dallas. Dallas would work with him too. If you're going to play Luka in the backcourt, you can play him at the small forward, or you can play Luka at small forward, and they got tons of options. There's teams out there that could use DeMar DeRozan. They may not like that contract, but there's definitely teams out there that can use them. Anyways, as y'all notice, I just turned off the lights. It's time for me to go, but I hope y'all have a good day. Peace.